Shalom, family. Glory, all glory be to God, and blessed be the Lamb forever. What type of hold? What type of hold does Israel, country, and AIPAC, and Jewish money have on the U.S. government, where at this point it doesn't care how it is perceived on the world stage? It doesn't care. Years ago, maybe 8 years ago, people in foreign lands who spoke English were asking this question: what happened, America? This when you were flipping the hell out. This when you were flipping out. It's people making your women, men, and your men, women, trying to make a damn a full gallon of paint equal with the paint can. You started doing all the kinds of weirded out shit. You came up with 100 different genders. You act against your own interest. So at some point we must beg. At some point the situation begs the question as to why. And no one ever answered that guy as to what's wrong with you, America? Who turns their boys into girls purposely? Who's their school systems? Who goes out of their way to perform what has to be termed experimental surgeries on children? Why do they wait to do it? So let's attempt to answer the question. But before we do, think about this, American people. Think about this one. 274 people killed, mostly women and children again. For the rescue of 4 hostages. 274. But that's the by story. Here's the real headline. Here's the real headline. American forces with American personnel on the very pier that America built to say that it was going to be used to deliver food. It's now used as central command to oversee an Israeli operation that includes American forces. They can't deny it. They can't deny it. People, let me have to tell you something. The people of America, and we're going to do everything we can to give this power back to you. They have taken your power. You are the only authority that can declare war. They can't just take you to war. They can't just wantonly decide based on their interests, their partnerships, what they believe personally, organizationally. And you as a country of over 320 million people just have to do it. I'm going to ask you this again. Are you a nation of law? Or are you a nation of men? weak-ass men at that. Men who would never involve themselves in battle. Men who would run from a fight. The only evidence that we have of them being men is they have money and they make babies. There's no other evidence. There's no other evidence of them being men. Zero evidence. Well, I did see them piss upright at least once in my life. I guess that counts for something. I did see them take a piss standing up one time. For what it's worth. Now you live in a nation where the doctors destroy your health. Lawyers destroy justice. Universities destroy knowledge. Corporate media destroy information. Religion has destroyed your morality. And your banks have destroyed the economy. Brought to you by Mark Laidlaw. And brought to you by me. This is where you live. Everything here is backwards. And as you slowly learn how to live in it, you're going to sink in it. You let a handful of men, goodness gracious, a handful of good. Let me calm down a minute. Let me take 10 seconds. While I run my blood pressure up. Before I run my damn blood pressure up, and they be wheeling my ass down the street in that box with flashing lights. Half hoping I don't die, and half hoping I live. They'll be like, not on my watch. Please don't die in here. Oh, man. But you think about that. You have not declared war on Hamas, American people. You have not declared war on Iran. You didn't declare war on Afghanistan, Iraq. When was the last time you have when was the last time you have declared war? Probably, I want to say World War II. Maybe Vietnam. I'm unsure about Vietnam, but I know how they got there. You know how your government went to war against the Vietnamese? Do you know the story? I know you don't, because they don't teach you this. They don't want you to know. The American government went there to act as mediators between the French and the Vietnamese. Pretty soon, they ended up fighting the Vietnamese. Why? Because the French are white like them, or Western like them. If you're looking for the antiseptic version of knowledge, you won't find it here. We're going to call a spade a spade. If you don't like me calling me white, tell me your name. Or would you like me to use a damn euphemism? Like Becky, or Karen, or Zach? You have no right to be offended as you're on the world stage murdering everybody. Why is this war necessary? Let me take you back to the 80s and 90s. They've been trying to reshape the Middle East. They've had plans like a wish list of how to change the Middle East. Who they gonna go to war with? Guess who was pushing it? Fox News. Through the American Enterprise Institute, a think tank, a Jewish think tank. They were openly calling for war against this country and that country and this country and this country and that country. They never had a reason to. So they started to create reasons, just like they always do, always have. So if you think that you can keep them off of you by doing what's right, no, I hate to tell you, but it's better that you shoot them first. There is no good in these people. None. There is no brand. There is no honor in these people. At this point, they don't care. They don't even care about themselves. They don't. They are slaves. Slaves. What kind of man can be bought off? That's a slave. That's a slave right there. Who can be told what to do? That's a slave. Who can have his own ideas about life and then have them changed or shaped by another man? That is a slave. Well, we don't do slaves around here. No, I'll not endure your shackles, be they physical, spiritual, or mental. I'll not endure your shackles. This is madness. So now the whole world has seen not only cannot Israel defeat Hamas, well, after being given billions of dollars and billions more in weapons and bombs, the best technology and the best training and the most moral and vaunted army in the Middle East, cannot defeat what they call a ragtag group of terrorists. So now America apparently sees this, and they have to send in their own special forces, and they still proceed to kill 274 civilians. My heart goes out to them. Man, listen here. If you can stoop to the level of using a food truck in an area that you know that you are starving people under the false pretense of you bringing them flour, formula, fruit, food, and then you leap out of the truck and you just go to shooting. Something wrong with you. What kind of plan was that? And then, hold on. To make their job easier, they flew sorties. I'm sorry. Y'all don't know what sortie is. A sortie is a big-ass airplane flying over your ass, strafing you with 50-millimeter bullets, or either dropping bombs or shooting rockets at you on the ground to clear a path. So they cleared a path, and they still had to go in and kill 274 people. Goodness gracious. Or maybe that's just an inclusionary number. Right now, the facts are a little bit cloudy, but we do know what some of the facts is. You guys are murderers, genocidal, maniacal murderers. Something deep inside of you is wrong with you. You need to tend to that shit. So now, will the American people keep saying that they're innocent when someone retaliates in America for blowing their shit up, killing their children? Will you still be victims? Will you still be innocent victims? I want to know, because that's what you're going to call yourself. That's exactly what each and every one of you is going to call yourself. And the media is going to do it too. Y'all all get in on it. There were 317 innocent victims, and all they did is went to work this morning. This was an act of a clear-cut act of terrorism. These people should be hunted down and put to death. So why shouldn't they feel that way about you as you murder their damn babies? Murder my baby, and I'm going to promise you, I'm going to kill the whole family. I'm talking about the whole bloodline. The whole bloodline, from start to finish. Youngest up to grandpapa. It all got to go. It'll never replicate itself upon this earth again. Not that one. Not that one. It's going to have to find another way in. But it won't be through a physical birth. I promise you that. So you think about this. And still the Palestinian people starving, bombed out, humiliated, treated like an animal, discussed as an animal, called an animal openly, a human animal openly by members of the Israeli Knesset. Openly. But I can see that they're animals. When you look from the eyes of the Jewish people, I can see how they're freaking animals, man. Let me tell you how I know they're animals, according to the fucking Israeli. They have a dog, right? The dog do what they want them to. They either love the dog or they hate the dog. Are they mad at the dog? If they're angry at the dog, they admonish the dog, chastise the dog, hit the dog, kick the dog. They do the same thing to the Palestinians. Wow. When they go to the zoo and they walk around and they look at the wild beasts and the not so wild beasts, they are looking at the animals. They have built checkpoints throughout Palestinian life to where they get to stop them and look at the animals. Oversee the animals, feed the animals, dictate as to how many calories a day, how many gallons of water, how much light they need. Turn the lights off, turn the lights on. Yeah, it's starting to come into vision of this Palestinian animal, according to the Israeli. You need more. You need more. Only with an animal could you walk in and say, move. And that animal had better move. And most of them is gonna move. So basically, the Israelis are saying, quit telling us what to do with our animals. With those animals that live on our land. Wow. That made the back of my throat burn. That made the back of my throat burn. So what happens to the Israelis? No. Let's not even, we already know what's going to happen to them as the story goes. They are of the synagogue of hell. Their own people have, in the 50s and 60s, they were more honest. They would tell you, I can pull it up. They would tell you that their God is Satan. This is what your Jewish rabbis ain't telling you. Their God is Satan. Their God is the one built of the smokeless fire. That one, the devil. They said it, I didn't. They said it. And if they deny it, I'll pull it up and show it to them. This Jewish man said this about you in 1956. He should know he was a practicing Jew and a practicing Zionist. Y'all should hate the internet. I would shut it down. I would shut it down. It's going to kill you. It's going to end you. It was built to end good, but turns out it's going to end bad, inadvertently. You thought you lived in a world that had no other choice but to accept your actions. No, we got plenty of choices, buddy. Plenty of choices. Plenty. And we can be quite innovative in what we choose to do to you. You would be surprised at our amount of innovation. The world has been trying to tell these people, when I say the world, not just humans, even the animals have been trying to tell these devils, the gig is up. It's over. The truth is here, and that means light is here. And if the light is here, that means God is here. It is over. You just gonna run with it, huh? You just gonna run with it. That too is of the devil. They got some kind of faith in the devil because they really believe that there's gonna be some kind of way that they get out of this without death, without a guaranteed trip to hell. They want an extension of their replicated life. Not going to happen. Replications are off. We have broken your replicator. It's done. It's already done. So what is their next move for Gaza? Let's go there. Let's go to the end of the war. That'll be sometime in December or January of next year. Mark my words. At its current pace, with a I don't want to die attitude. I need superior weaponry because I don't want to die. I got to use airstrikes because I don't want to die. But they guaranteed entry into heaven upon their death. That's what they say. Here's their opportunity to die with honor. And they try to live forever. You hypocrites, you liar. You hypocrite and liar. You blasphemer. You heretic. Ooh, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Let me ask a question. What is the end game? Will you occupy Gaza? Will you put soldiers on every block? Will you rebuild Gaza? Will you push the people into the desert where the fallen exist? Huh? How long will you stay there? What will be the rules? Might there be curfews? Will there be food? Will you rebuild the infrastructure? Will they learn to love you? Will they greet you with candy and flowers? Will they greet you with candy and flowers? Or will you once again use by force of the bullet demand that they accept your occupation, leading to more violence, more war, more resistance? Ladies and gentlemen, it has become crystal clear. Everybody got to go. All of Western culture's leadership, all of it. All of it. I'm talking about from the local alderman, local council member, up to the presidents and the premiers of the Western states should be deposed, rebelled against, revolted against, or to sum it up, outside of violence right now, by any and all means necessary. They gotta go. They have to go, or else you will die. You will die at their hands. When you have it in your head that you get to commit, knowing what the law say, through the Constitution, we had an amendment. It's too cumbersome for us to go to the American people and tell them what the situation is, because we know more than what they know, and some of it is like classified, and so we have to take their power away from them to be the only ones who can declare war upon another nation state. We're going to get you that power back. You got more sense than they do, and they know it. They know it. This is why they don't want to listen to you. Let me just tell you, the masses are always smarter than the smaller groups. In most cases, the masses are always smarter, especially right now with all this information. I wouldn't have made that statement. I could not have made that statement in the 80s or the 70s or the 60s. But by the 2000s, this was clear. Because you have access to all of the information. You have access to all of the information. Your country has co-signed the stalking and harassment and possible assassination of ICC officials and ICJ officials, open threats against them. International court. And you think that you being led by what, I mean, outside of cowardly gangsters. And I'm being nice. If these are cowardly gangsters, you ain't gonna never shoot at them. You ain't gonna do no drive-bys on them. Shit. I don't care how mad your ass is. Anyway, folks, enjoy the rest of your morning and think about what I've said. All right? I mean that. Western culture, as it is structured governmentally, cannot correct itself without your input. I mean direct input as a people. In other words, get in their ass, get on their ass, get in their face. Don't shut up. Don't be quiet. Bring them hell, or as close to it as you can get. And we can start to thinking about how we gonna treat the new incoming administration in the meantime. Enjoy the rest of the morning. I hope the next incoming administration's members are listening, because we ain't gonna be playing with you either.